Hey, David Werst here with RealTexasBlog.com, and as promised in a previous post, I'm going to talk to you about and show you how to do a brisket. Now, every Texas cook, outdoor guy, needs to know how to do a brisket. You need to know how to cook brisket. It's an essential Real Texas skill. And also, every Real Texas brisket cook has secret spices, secret all-purpose seasoning. That's made out of Odessa, Texas. This is a secret mesquite shake, and you can see it's a secret garlic powder, secret meat tenderizer. There's all kinds of different brands of meat tenderizers and things like that. That says secret cayenne pepper, and this really sounds hot, but it enhances the flavor of your brisket. And then a mix of peppers, of secret peppers. Now I'm going to put all these right down here, and what I do whenever I prepare a brisket is that you want to go ahead and prepare a rub, and you rub the ingredients. You mix all the ingredients together in a rub, and you rub it, and what I like to do is leave it overnight. So I'm going to rub this brisket down tonight, and I'm going to wrap it up in this foil, and then in another post, another video, I'll show you my pit and actually how we cook on that. Now I empty all those ingredients into one particular little thing right here, and then I have another secret sauce that I like to use also. Oh, excuse me. That's a different secret sauce, and I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. But I have made me a brisket rub, and it's comprised of all these different special secret sauces and meat tenderizers and things that we talked about. And what I do is sprinkle this liberally, and remember it's cayenne pepper in here, so if you're prone to sneezing, you'll sneeze quite a bit. You got to get your hands into it. Now this particular brisket you can get at nearly any grocery store. I think we picked this one up at either H-E-B or Sam's. It cost $1.68 a pound. This entire big hunk of meat right here cost $20.04. So you want to take your time and make good use of this. So you go ahead and you rub that in real good, and keep things fairly clean. Now for the fatty side. And don't worry, those of you that have never seen a brisket like this or done a brisket like this, it has a big layer of fat on one side of it, and that all enhances the flavor. It just does a really, really good job whenever you start cooking, and we will show you on that tomorrow also. Okay, I have done this lots and lots and lots of times. These briskets turn out great. And I am very, very, very liberal with this rub. And there are certain specialty rubs. Stubbs makes a good rub. You can look in nearly any grocery store and find a good brisket rub that does alright also. Okay, I'm going to put that down. We don't need to wrap that up. And all I'm going to do is wrap this up, and I'm going to let it sit overnight in Ramona's refrigerator. And that's the reason I'm wrapping it up. She doesn't mind the mess I make, but she doesn't like a big mess inside of her refrigerator. Also, I like to keep my other secret sauce separate from this for a little while. So we're going to wrap this up, let it sit overnight in the refrigerator, and I'll get back with you in the next video. In the previous little video, we put the dry rub on the brisket. We talked a little bit about the meat itself, and now I want to show you the pit that I use. Now, there are plenty of good cookers, guys that have pits in their backyards, and mobile pits. They have wheels on them. There are some that are as big as a barn, but this is the one that I use, and Ramona had this actually custom built for me by some guys that were really pretty good at it. It has a place for your pots and pans and holders. And if you look down here, it also has a burner where you could put a pot of beans on, or something that you would like. But I like this one because it has everything ready for me. Now let's come around here to the business end of this thing. And what I like about it is it has a firebox down below here. And I've already got it preloaded with some wood. And then up above, you can cook directly on this fire, but up above it has kind of an oven. And I really like this feature because I actually put the brisket up here and sear the meat and get it where it's cooking good, and then I'll come back in a little while and wrap it up. But if you'll notice, these shells lift completely out, and that makes it good for potatoes, onions, corn, anything else that you might cook on the grill. And just makes things go a lot smoother if you can move these racks in and out. Now here's the wood that we use, and I like seasoned mesquite. A lot of people don't have ready access to mesquite, but I do, and I have all my life. And some people use some people use oak. Very seldom use pecan. It has a little bit too much strong flavor for me. But mesquite is the universal fuel of choice out here in real Texas. And also, to get that smoke ring around the brisket, you can get this bark and peel it off and put it on a fire that's well established, and it'll really make a lot of smoke. So I use that quite a bit, and we'll use that later on. I'll save this back. Now, just a tip or two, you don't want to get in too big of a hurry when you're cooking your real Texas brisket. It's a ritual. It's a manly Texas thing, and it's a family Texas thing. So don't get in any kind of rush. Take your time. This might take 8 to 10 hours. If you have friends over, you can do lots of other things in between. I'll actually be cleaning out the garage and working outside. And I have lots of outside helpers here. Dogs, cats, chickens, bobcats, and everything else that comes along. But this is my pit. This is what I use. Everybody has their own version of these things out here. And we'll go ahead and fire this pit up, and I'll show you when I put the meat on exactly what I'm doing. More later. One of the good things about barbecuing a brisket is you get to be outside. And this is not a bad spot out here on the Sherwood Ranch. We like this. And Ramona, if you'll pan around, we also have a lot of helpers out here on the Sherwood Ranch. We've got ducks right there. You can see little D. Allen with 5 baby chicks over there. I don't know whether you can see those or not. But that's just part of it. You don't get in a hurry when you're taking care of the brisket on a day like this. All right, let's talk about the fire just a minute. And what I have done, I went ahead and started the fire, and we have a little fire going there. But I have a really big bed of coals, and that's essential to the brisket, especially on this kind of a pit. Now, when you have a different kind of a pit, it's different. But we have a really good bed of coals going. It's an even heat, and that's what you want. Now, I've already unwrapped the brisket, and I had placed it up on the top rack. And you notice I've got these gloves here. This rack is heavy. And I put it on with the lean side down first, and I had the lean side down for about 20 minutes. And then I put the fat side down for about 20 minutes. Maybe you can see it a little better over here. Now, does that look good or what? This is looking really good. I've got the fat side up right now. And what I'm going to do now, some people don't do this, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap mine up in the foil. And I'm going to put it with the fat side up. That way the fat goes on into the meat as it cooks. And I'm going to keep adding fire and adding mesquite to it. And I don't add very much at a time. I might just add, a couple of pieces. You can see here that they're not very thick. But I'll tell you what, this brisket is looking great already. And I'll come back after a while and give you a few more tips. We've had the brisket on cooking all day long, and remember I talked about the bed of coals. So Ramona, if you'll come over here warm yourself up a little bit, but look at that good bed of coals. And that's the way I've tried to maintain that most of the day, just like that. Now that's pretty hot, just like it is. Now I'm going to just double check on this brisket so you can kind of watch how I do it. And remember that everything's real hot. I have done this and let go of it pretty quick, but let's just look and see what this brisket's looking like. I'm telling you, now that is a good looking brisket, and you see there's a lot of juice right down there and it's kind of bubbling up. That's all cooking. That's real good. And later when we do the slicing of it, I'll show you how to slice this thing up good. And I'm telling you, that brisket is looking great. That looks like good stuff. You gotta be careful, some of that grease will come out. Okay. Let's see if I can do this without just burning myself. We have been cooking the brisket nearly all day. It's been several hours now. It's probably been 6 or 7.5 or 8 hours since we first put the brisket on. And now it's time to go ahead and cut the brisket up. You always want to cut the brisket cross grain to the meat. Let me give you an example here. The electric knife is a little loud, so let's just go ahead and go and see what we get. We're not cutting too thick here. We're going really good. Now you see how this goes. All that big fat part is gone. It's gone into the meat. But this is a wonderful piece of meat. This is a great brisket. We've had a good day. We've had some really good beverages along the way. We've even had the Sheriff of Sherwood along here with us. And the Sheriff of Sherwood. Say hi, Sheriff.
Howdy there.
Okay, the Sheriff of Sherwood has been along with us, and we appreciate y'all watching how we do our brisket in real Texas. RealTexasBlog.com. We appreciate you watching.